So if you think about the problems facing advertisers, safety, fraud, privacy, right? Content targeting, right, for your brand, of your brand, is really a silver bullet for all of these problems, because we don't think about brand safety in a silo by itself. We think about brand suitability, which is really holistically where your brand wants to be, how you want your brand to be represented in the content it's next to, and the audience you want to reach. All of those things are wrapped up in content targeting, again, which is what we used to do, is how people used to buy advertising. There's a statistic, somewhere of the order of 500 hours are uploaded to YouTube. 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute, right? How do you make sure, how do you know what that content is, and how do you decide what you want your brand to be in front of, right? It's so massive, the scale of it is almost inconceivable, right? So when you have to apply technology problems, machine learning problems, artificial intelligence to that, to make sure your brand is represented in the way you want to. And you want to do that in a way that doesn't violate your consumers' privacy. We have all of this data at our disposal. We know more about our consumers than ever. And that started to become, as we've seen in the EU, highly regulated. The pendulum is swung, right? There needs to be a balance of content and audience. And the pendulum, with the rise of digital advertising, has swung way, way too far to the side of audience, right? And we all lost sight of, and the brand safety crisis reminded us that where our brands are represented matters, context matters. So we see that pendulum swinging back towards the center. I don't believe audience targeting is ever gonna go away, but what happened is people stopped focusing on content targeting. The way we had always thought about advertising actually became not secondary, tertiary, just we put it in the back of the bus, right? And now that's kind of coming back to center. And wait, I know I want to target this audience, and everybody told me that it didn't matter where or when, it just who. Well, where and when matters just as much as who. So we work with brands on their idea of brand safety, but every brand's idea of brand safety is different, and we call that brand suitability. And we work with our partners to determine a fingerprint for what is safe for the brand, what is suitable, because what's safe for one brand is not safe for another, right? Some brands might want to target people watching video games, other folks might want to never be in front of that content. There's a baseline of brand safety, but brands are much more concerned about suitability, which is I care about my brand, and they think they're talking about safety because they're only thinking in the context of their brand. But again, these are two different concepts. So we do work with the brands to determine that fingerprint for them, and then we align them with the content that is most appropriate for the brand.